I have started recording.
Okay.
I don't see Kate yet.
No.
I do
Okay.
not see Kate yet.
I think we'll go ahead and start because I'm not sure. I know she's at home and she's doing better. She got very tired, so she said she put the groceries away the other day and that was it for her. So I'm sure, if she's not feeling the best, she may not join us. So
Do you want me to message her?
you can send one,
Okay.
but she was, she's pretty wasted. It really dragged her out. So we'll just go ahead. We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yeah.
Jake.
Yes.
Let's see. Approval of the Records Commission and the regular meetings from November 17th.
So there has to be an edit because
It's not the Records Commission?
the second part, the regular minutes, has the quote from, it looks like Becky found that it had the, from the October minutes. So Becky has written up an edit. It is sent to you, but the language will have to be changed. So it would have to be as edited.
Okay.
Do you want it read or do you have it there? And everybody should have it in their email. I don't know if you want to pull it up or not.
Okay.
Anybody just joined?
Yeah,
Becky could.
I'm in.
Hi, Kate.
Hello. Did it.
Yay.
I went to the wrong
So-
meeting.
Wait a minute. The board meeting minutes, it says November on mine. That's not correct.
No, it's just the foundation report
Just that
in the
section.
minutes.
When you take like the October minutes and use them to do the November minutes, if you don't edit that section out and nobody pays attention because you don't think to read over the November minutes. I told Becky that I read right past it and didn't even see it, even though I've looked at it. But
you're saying it needs
Oh,
to
the foundation report part of it is not correct.
yes,
Right.
sir, that is correct.
Okay.
Right,
Because
everything
it
else
all
should be
looked
correct.
normal to me. I didn't catch that part. either.
Exactly. It's an exact duplicate of the month before, exact word for word. So this just, Becky fixed it and sent it to me and Lisa, and I just sent it to all of you.
all right.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Now I
Record
understand.
and the regular minute as edited for November 17th, 2020.
On the nosy.
All right. I move those two approvals.
Okay. And I need a second.
Second.
Paul.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, communications, a letter from Sue.
Nothing beyond that, other than the bizarre postcard that you saw, Karen, but we didn't send that to everybody.
That is,
Actually, I had a question about Sue's letter. There was a part that didn't make sense to me. Let me find the exact part of it. It was about the meeting room. She said something, it's very disturbing to think that we can no longer have our book sales, and especially to discover that we can no longer use the meeting rooms. And I was like, wait a minute. As far as I know, we didn't shut down meeting rooms other than the COVID part of we can't get into anything. Is that what she's referring to? Is the COVID
That
stuff?
is current, and that is correct about that. I'm assuming that's what she's talking about. I don't know. I mean, I think they wanted to have meetings of the Friends group in the building, but we aren't letting anybody have.
Gotcha. Okay, that would make sense. I was just afraid she was under the impression that we said, you know what, you're not allowed to come anywhere near the library anymore. And I'm like, no, that's not what we want to be.
That's
the
not what
impression.
she said.
Okay.
Right.
So if she's just talking about the COVID shutdown, that's outside of our control and is what it is. Okay.
Nobody has used a meeting room since March.
right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now I got to go back up. My packet didn't come, so I'm working off of 2 laptops here. Such fun. All right, I need approval of the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in, are there any additions? I should have said, are there any additions or corrections? No,
We're working with the second agenda that was sent out.
Correct.
Second agenda.
That has an executive session
That
to
has the
consider.
executive session at the
Along
end.
with the executive session.
Right.
okay. Okay, then, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Fiscal officers report.
Okay, I need approval of November's disbursements and gifts.
I move the approval of the November disbursements and gifts.
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Are you muted, Larry?
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
Yes.
Okay, and I need approval of the resolution to ask the county auditor for tax advances. It's in your board packet.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Yes,
Kate,
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Family just showed up. I'm got a problem.
Raymond.
Yeah.
Jake.
Yes.
Right, and then I need approval to transfer, for appropriations transfer. I'd like to move $250,000 out of the two accounts that are listed into the transfers out account to enable a $750,000 transfer into the building and repair fund. So there's two motions I need. The first is to approve the transfer of $150,000 from public service salaries to transfers out, and $100,000 from contingency to transfers out.
Is that
So
C
moved.
and D, or is that just C? On
I'm
the
sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about.
fiscal officer's report, there's the C, approval of appropriations
That's just
transfer,
C.
and
I
then
need two separate motions. I need
two
C.
motions for C. Okay.
I move the first one.
Okay.
Any discussion on the first one? Roll call.
Karen, Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yeah.
Jake.
Yes.
Okay, then I need approval to transfer the funds from that transfers out account into the building and repair fund, the 401 fund. So we're moving from the general fund into the building and repair fund of $750,000.
So moved.
500 was already in that transfers out account.
In C, we had two parts. We did the first part, but we didn't do the second part.
No, C was the first part.
See, that's
Both
why
of
I'm
those.
confused.
That's-
C was two transfers.
Yeah,
into
but we
the-
only said the first transfer and Paul said first transfer.
I thought you
Right,
said
D is
C
the
or
second
D.
transfer. D is the second one.
Is
Okay.
D the second one?
C
Lisa
had
said it-
two parts, and that was the first transfer. D
Okay.
is the second transfer.
We
That's
misunderstood.
that's what we're doing now.
Paul and I misunderstood, I think.
Okay.
At least I did.
I did. I wasn't sure.
I did, because you said there were two parts to C and he said, I'll do the first part.
Well, Ed asked if it was C or D or both, and I said it's only C, which on the
All right, so when
agenda
you-
is approval appropriations transfers, which is
when
what
you
I
write
read from my
All
report.
of C. It's not what he said, he's all of C. So now we'll do D, approval of the transfer of the fund.
I'll move to transfer the funds for part D.
Second.
I have to vote.
Okay. I can barely hear you, Karen. Karen,
Yes. Uh-oh.
Josh,
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Paul,
Yes.
That's
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond. Jake.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
Claire.
I don't know what was wrong there. A holder. was too far back and it blocked the microphone or what? Well, there you go. Okey doke. Now we got approval of the 2021 mileage rate.
Which we don't have the actual number yet, but in the past few years, you have just approved that it would be the standard IRS mileage rate.
So
Okay.
moved.
Any second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jake. Any further discussion? Roll call?
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
I included a 5-year budget forecast, but I said, who knows? I mean, it looks good, but as we've seen this year, anything can change.
Yes.
And so, but that's there for your information, and that, you know, I don't know if anybody had any questions or not on that.
Anybody? Questions for her? Yeah. We don't know what's gonna happen. We're playing it by ear.
And then I am required by operating policy 380 to let you know that a credit card was lost. It's assumed that it was left at the store. It was a Home Depot card. It wasn't like a Visa or MasterCard. But we did cancel the card and we checked there was no unauthorized charges. And I also, the same policy requires me to send a report to the compliance officer 2 times a year. And I sent that to Karen. She reviewed it and signed it.
I did. We're good.
And that's it.
Okay, thanks. Director's report.
So I am requesting approval for staff continuing education assistance for Debbie Schrock, as noted in the report.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
any discussion on that?
She's working on her BA.
Right. Okay, roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond?
Yeah.
Jake?
Yes.
Just as a question, because somebody was actually asking me this question last week and I couldn't remember. How much are we paying reimbursement? Like, what is our percentage that we pay on tuition reimbursement?
For like Debbie Schrock, it's 25%. For an undergrad, is it undergrad is I know for a part-timer, I think I'm trying to remember what the limits are. I feel like
Okay,
it's
I don't feel bad that I couldn't
signed.
remember either. when
Undergrad
somebody
is
asked.
25, it's 25%.
There you go.
A master's degree is 50% if you're full-time or 25% if you're part-time.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was just me asking. So, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Okay.
I could pull up the policy, but I'd have to dig. The next section, excuse me, is about Thompson, and there's a lot of stuff in here. I don't know if this is where, I know Larry Corbis wanted to be in here, and I don't know if he's interested in expounding at length about the issues that we've had to deal with. I know Karen has sat through pretty much every one of the meetings that we've had, and Kate was with us for all of them up till just the last, I think, couple OACs. So a specific issue we had, and I sent you all information about this prior to the board meeting, was about the water and sewer lines coming into the building at Thompson and the issues that were involved with that. So we actually had an OAC that was a marathon session, and Don Dreyer sat in on the entire thing with us. And we had the conversation about what was going to be done about these 2 lines. And Don, as near as I can tell, and everybody else that was in this meeting could tell me if they perceived it the same way, but my memory and recollection was Don Dreyer said this will not cost the library anything. So they will be out.
You don't have to do a change report. It's not costing us an additional over the GMP, but it's coming out of their contingency, which would have been returned to us. So it is costing us money.
Is that
No,
coming
no,
out
I
of the
think it was-
contingency for the sewer and water? I don't
Yeah.
think, but just for
No,
the parking lot is coming out of contingency. Sewer and water, I think, is all on them.
All of
I
them.
agree with that.
I hope so.
Okay, that's not how
Yeah.
I understood
No,
it.
they were gonna go back, they're gonna go back to the contractor. And which was Mr. Excavator, I believe, and
Yes.
enforce with them that they put in the wrong place. And if they didn't agree to, my understanding was Don Dreyer said that Independence, the new CM, is going to take care of that one. Different than the drive. The drive is coming out of
Right, I
contingency.
thought both of them were the same way.
No, they recognize that there was a mistake and that
Good.
there's some
Hooray.
liability there. Yeah.
The parking lot is its own issue. And we can, that I wrote you as well, and I've given you kind of a timeline in the report to go through that. And they did get it done. As I was writing this, this was before they did anything. But they did manage to get it done. And when I was last there, they were striping. So it is striped. And Larry, you were on site today. You
Yep.
want to give any kind of update?
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, and it's good as it did last week, and cars were parked on it. And I think given the current climate with openings and COVID and the limited use, I think the parking will be adequate for until the rest can be done. I also was talking to Ed, our CM out there, and right now that drive looks, I mean, the unpaved park also looks very solid and very dry. It's a product of the weather, but that in case there was overflow parking needs, that could be used.
Yeah, the gravel side, right?
Yeah, the gravel side. So
It's also
I
good,
think
yeah.
this is not most desirable, but it was the opportunity to get a parking lot in so the library could open.
Right.
I also want to double check and make sure that there is no that there aren't any other asphalt plants open. I've been told they aren't, but I just want to verify that, because my thinking is if they were open right now, they could be doing that other side. So,
Well, we don't
and
want to pay a
Karen,
premium for that.
Karen, you were on the call when we talked about the sewer.
Yes.
Yeah, and you recall it the way I did. I mean, in terms of okay.
Yeah, done.
I just want to make sure.
They totally handle it.
Yeah. They understood that.
They understood.
That was the
Okay.
Lemony Snicket speech, the series of unfortunate events.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, this isn't in the report because this has happened since the report was sent out. Thursday, kind of at the last minute, we were supposed to go through, and we had originally had a plan to do punch list walkthrough on Friday, and we did what were they called, the 1-year warranty back punches at Middlefield and at Geauga West. And then Scott said, we got some time. Do you want to just go over and tackle the punch list at Bainbridge right now? And we went over there, and Larry actually was driving over at the same time. So we all managed to converge, and it was not ready for punch. It's not ready for punch. I don't want to say at all, but it's definitely not ready. He thinks, and he sent the email today to Lisa, substantial completion of 12:30. But then the conversation with getting the guys to come out to do the three-dimensional walkthrough and tours, like the virtual tours, that's probably not going to be till January 4th. So I think there's some considerable stuff that still needs done. I mean, it's not to say that the vast majority of things aren't done, but I think I don't remember if I sent you guys pictures. I can't remember. There's been a lot of information, but I think I sent you all pictures of the bathrooms where that one thing was being held up with a piece of wood, and that's not punch ready. So
There were quite a few. I went Friday morning, even though we were canceled. I went anyway. There's just things here and there among the whole place that you can tell they just haven't quite finished yet.
Yeah.
The majority is done and looks wonderful. But
Yeah.
there are things that need to be done, and there's no point rushing it, and we'll just finish it.
Right.
Yeah.
So are we scheduled, Larry, for Thursday next week? Is that right? Is that what? I mean, not. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get any.
Pat Canada sent us out something. We talked
Ed,
about
I
this
wanted
just
to, I
earlier.
just wanted to make the point, and
Go ahead.
Lisa, I know you were concerned about getting the certificate of substantial completion, and which is is true. You want to have that so that we know when to transfer over the insurance. But I think we can have the certificate of substantial completion and do the punch list a couple of days or week later, because the punch list is simply that. It's the things they have to come back and repair. But we can accept the building as being substantially complete as long as like the water's on, the fire extinguishers are working, that it can be used. So the punch list doesn't have to coincide exactly at the substantial completion.
Okay.
And can you confirm the date, because you said a different date? Did you get another email from Pat Canada? You said
I would
12:30.
I was just going on recollection. You're probably right. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
I
go with
thought
the
Ed said 12:30.
I thought he said 12:30 to Richard Barnes. So Richard,
He sent to me 12:21. If it's 12:30, I definitely have to extend the builder's risk.
1221 is the one I understood.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I've been
One
told.
is substantial completion, and then I think the email to Richard Barnes had to do with
the 360.
creating that other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Video
Yep.
and the tours.
Yeah, the virtual tour. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Did they-
that, go ahead.
The water yet?
The water will be tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow.
They keep, yes, they keep saying. Okay.
Well, Pat, that came from Patrick Jolly. I don't think he's,
know.
oh, he is on here. What do you have for us about the water, Patrick, if you can unmute yourself?
It will be tomorrow. The well was active on Friday, but it was a matter of coordinating and getting the plumber and the and Ayers there at the same time. And
Okay.
Ayers was there, or the plumber was there yesterday, but Ayers couldn't be there yesterday. Ayers was there today. The plumber couldn't be there today. Tomorrow they are scheduled to get it going.
Okay, good.
But the water is the well is active. It's just not valved on into the building yet.
Okay.
Did they talk about putting the bollards up around that wellhead, just as you and I have said?
There was no more discussion about that. No.
Okay.
I'll make it. That's on my list for the OAC.
It's on the parking lot, basically at the drive, and the worry is that it would be lost in snow and somebody could run right into that wellhead because it's not particularly tall.
No.
So,
That would be bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh.
And other than that, that's what I got. Any questions?
Good. Got miscellaneous? Anything else?
Just the things that are in the report.
Okay. All right, Assistant Director.
I'd like to highlight in my report that we did receive a 4-star rating from Library Journal this year, and that the staff have made tremendous strides to improve increased programming and programming attendance, and that had a lot to do with us getting this award, and that they did a wonderful job. We are looking to roll out books by mail for all GCPL patrons who are interested and live in Geauga County starting in January. And tech services, mobile services, and Cindy Holtz and our heads of CERC are working on that, and it should be ready for January 4th. Mike is going to talk about the makerspace. We've had a lot of fun and interesting things coming in for the makerspace, and he's going to talk about that in the branch manager's report. And then I did include an update of public services at the back of my report, which explains the changes that took place today for public services and the changes in hours that will take place January 4th when all of our part-time staff return to 100% of their hours. So other than that, I have nothing else to add.
Okay, thanks. Chris.
HR report.
Oh, there she is.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I have the human resource actions as listed in the board packet and needs approval.
Move approval of the HR actions.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? If not, then a roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry. Is Larry still on?
He is, but he's muted at the moment.
Okay. I'll come back to Larry. Kate,
Yes.
Raymond?
Yeah.
Jake,
Yes.
Larry?
I got him muted on mine.
He's muted, but if
Larry?
he's stepped off, I don't know if we have to pause the meeting or just make a note of it. I don't remember what the rule was.
We make a note of it.
Okay.
4:25. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
He's
Hi,
back.
Larry. Yep.
Oh,
I mean, I see the image.
Yeah, I'm
There
here.
he is.
Larry, do you approve the HR actions as presented in the board packet?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and we have one retirement, and I'm asking for approval for a $100 retirement gift for the part-time retiree.
I moved
I-
that.
I'll
And I'll
second
second.
that. Take your pick. Doesn't matter.
So,
any further discussion? Okay. Roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Okay, and
Jake? Oh, wait, I'm not done, Chris. Jake?
Yes.
Okay,
I think I heard my name.
you did.
That is correct.
Okay.
okay. All right, the next are personnel policies, and the first one is policy 260, performance evaluation, and we just wanted to clarify some things in there as listed in the board packet. Need approval for that one?
So moved.
Do you
I'll
want to do
second
them
that.
all together or do you want to do them separate?
Do
No.
them all together.
No. Lisa,
I don't.
Rather have them do it separate just because
Okay.
the third one is an addition, not just.
all right. Not a problem.
Okay.
We'll do personnel policy. There's further discussion. Roll call.
Karen?
Yeah.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yeah.
Jake.
Yes.
Okay. And the next one is policy 440, unanticipated closure, which we had last board meeting, and there was some updates that I made, and I just wanted to make sure that you all saw the updates, kind of switched the wording around a little bit, so
Mhm.
I am presenting it again to make sure that you're approving.
Yeah, it looks better. I liked it.
Okay. Is that a first?
Yeah, I'll, yes. Please
All right.
accept.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Josh.
Somebody's got a loud hum.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I'm hearing that hum. And
I know.
I think it's Mike, actually.
I'm going to try to mute. Okay, there you go.
There, Mike's muted.
Okay, were you ready for roll call on that one, Karen?
yes, that's where
Okay.
we,
Karen,
yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yeah.
Jake.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one is policy 632, paid sick leave. This is a temporary policy because we want to have something in place since the FFCRA is going to be expiring at the end of this month. And with COVID, still surges,
people still getting sick. If a part-time employee gets sick, then that would mean that they would have to quarantine with no pay. And so we just want this to go, I believe I put on there till April, and then we'll revisit that at that point in time. Hopefully by that time, either they will redo the FFCRA policy, or maybe the vaccines will be working and we won't have such a surge in COVID. And just so you know, since did a report since the beginning of May, we've had 24 people that have been sick, that have utilized, some have utilized FFCRA, some can work remotely, so thusly FFCRA is not applicable to them since they are full-time and they can work remote. So I just need approval for this temporary sick leave policy.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
So this in essence is tracking the FFCRA policy, discontinue it?
Well, the FFCRA will be discontinued at the end of December.
Yes.
And so then this one's going to go into effect for our employees. So we can have them be paid, the part-time employees be paid if they're sick with COVID.
All I was asking is this provision that we're now extending, because I know it expires, is this providing the same sick pay that FCRA required?
Yes.
Thank you.
We're
That's
going to
all I
copy
asked.
that. Yes.
Good. Thank you.
Two clarifications. One is Chris, I know Chris is explaining it quickly. This would also cover people that aren't sick but are required to quarantine.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And then the second is to Larry's question. The way we have this policy written is if that emergency paid sick leave is extended into next year, they would get that, they would use that emergency, the FFCRA, that emergency paid sick leave if it was extended. And then they would also, what if they say they had to quarantine for 2 weeks, they came back and then they got sick, they would have an additional 2 weeks with this policy. And the people that have already used their 2 weeks of emergency pay leave would have an additional 2 weeks with our policy. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Any other discussion? No.
No.
Okay. Roll call.
Karen?
Yep.
Josh?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yeah.
Jake?
Yes.
Okay. Local managers report, Mike Pope.
Are you still hearing a loud hum?
No, it's better.
No. No.
Okay. Very good. Let me just share my screen. Okay, can everybody see that?
I can see you. Yeah, there you are.
Hey.
Okay,
Yep.
Cool. Yes.
great. So I just wanted to kind of show everybody what we've been doing at the Makerspace equipment for Bainbridge and some of the things that we have done with it. So first off, we have our 3D printer. It is a Maker Gear 3D printer. We have been creating examples of what the 3D printer can do. So below here, you can see 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 15 minutes. We can use these to show patrons visual representations of how long a particular job takes. And also, Mary Crotty, our tech trainer, has created some original 3D prints. We made some GCPL logo little ornaments here, and also a Geauga County Public Library 3D printed bookmark. Next up, we have our EinScan 3D scanner. So patrons can use this to scan items into a computer and then print them with the 3D printer. What's great about it is all you got to do is just press one button. So it's really easy to use. We looked into some that you have to manually turn the table, the items on, and you get those weird like panoramic type issues when you do the panoramic with your phone. So this is really easy to use. It works great.
How big of an object can that 3D scanner scan?
So it can scan, let's say, I think of the biggest thing we've scanned with it. Like if you had a bottle of pop, like a Dr. Pepper can, like that, it can scan that pretty well. You can see back here, this is basically one of those little book dividers. So something like the size of a hardcover book.
Great.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You guys are having such fun?
It's great. You know, it's really enjoyable coming to work when you get to work with this kind of stuff. So.
I guess so.
Yeah. Then we have our Epson sublimation printer. So the sublimation printer will allow patrons to print directly onto fabric and transfers and items. It also includes special trays that will allow for printing like socks and sleeves and other specialty clothing items. And here is an example of how that works and what you do. So we're able to take this picture of this cat and print it directly onto a piece of fabric.
Huh.
And as far as I know, I think we're the only public institution in the county that has one of these. A lot of the libraries we consulted with really wanted sublimation printers, but didn't have them yet. So it's pretty cool. We actually got one and we're using it, and I think our patrons are really going to like it.
Great.
So next we have, here is our heat press and also our embroidery machine. So the embroidery machine has 10 bobbins and it's really easy to use. I can even use this and I am horrible at sewing. It does all the work. So patrons can use it. It has a 10-inch touchscreen here. It's loaded with thousands of designs and fonts that you can customize. You can also design projects on a laptop that has software. So you could have a patron using this to print out to embroider their designs, then another patron on a laptop in a study room actually doing their design. So you have multiple people kind of using it at once like that. I think the coolest part of this has a built-in camera. So it can take a picture of like a drawing or of a signature, and then it will embroider it onto the material of your choice. So if you have like grandma's signature and you wanted to embroider that on a scarf or something, you could do that. So it's really cool. And then here are some examples of what Mary has done with that. So here you see a baseball cap with our logo on it, a mask with our logo on it, also a little rascal raccoon there. So those are some of the things we have done so far. Once we can actually get into the Bainbridge Makerspace, we'll be able to set up our Epilogue laser engraver, the large format Epson 54-inch wide printer, cutter, and a large format vinyl cutter that's 27 inches wide. Yeah, our tech trainer Mary's been doing a great job with this, getting things set up, writing up instructions, and cross-training IT staff on the equipment. And we just can't wait, hopefully soon, for our patrons to be able to start using it. So it's going to be a really, really great thing. I think it's going to be fantastic for the county.
Amazing.
So what's the plan as far as availability and usage for that stuff for patrons? Like, are they going to have to pay for the whatever the ink is on the sublimation printer and that type of stuff, or how?
Yeah, we're still kind of working through some of the minutia of that. Like we will have materials on hand that they can use. Like we'll have the filament for the 3D printer, but we'll charge them per, I think it's like cubic inch or whatever, however it breaks down. We have a list and we're kind of going off what some other libraries did as far as the charging of for the materials, but we'll have the plan in place by the time we're ready to launch it for the public.
Great.
Okay. And my next follow-up question, have we given any thought to people inevitably will want to use copyrighted pictures or things like that? Do we have any policy and or checks in place to stop them from using Mickey Mouse on a t-shirt? Because I use that one because Disney is notorious for coming after people for putting a picture of Mickey Mouse on their nursery wall, you know.
Right.
We have a training protocol, and after a patron goes through the training process and is approved to use the machines, they have to sign an agreement with us, and the copyright is part of that agreement. So once they sign that, any copyright infringement, from what I understand, is on them.
Okay.
Because
We can
they've
consult.
agreed to follow our rules, which include not, you know, using copyrighted materials.
We could consult with Counselor Rundelli, who is an expert in intellectual property law. I'm sure he'd be happy to tell us more.
I don't know, am I getting paid?
That was all volunteer work.
I
Yeah.
mean, when we had literal copy machines in the libraries, there used to be the standard warning about
Yep.
what you could and couldn't do.
Yep.
Presumably something like that, which should cover us with respect to purposes of our liability.
Sure.
People are going to do what they're going to do. The only law in the United States that's broken more often than speeding laws are the laws against copying. So
Yeah.
people are going to do what they're going to do. We just need to make sure that there's not a road back to us for liability.
Yeah.
We have that same wording in our mobile memory lab agreement. So we'll carry that over to this. And we've been closed for most of the year, but when it was up and running, we didn't really have issues with people copying like DVDs and stuff like that and copyrighted photos and things. So hopefully it carries over to this, but definitely staff will be monitoring this equipment and monitoring what patrons are doing on it. And patrons have to sign up and register to use the equipment. They just can't walk in off the street, even when things are normal. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we had the proper fig leaves in place to protect us as a
For
library.
sure.
As long as we have that, I'm happy.
Cool. Great. Any other questions?
Nope.
Cool.
That's great.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, committee reports. Finance committee?
Sure. I'm going to turn it right over to Lisa, but we did meet, I can't remember when, a week ago or so, and went over what Lisa had prepared. It made sense to the finance committee, but I'll let her walk you through it and ask any questions that anybody might have of her. I think most of the materials are in the packet.
What's in the board packet is what the board needs to approve, the appropriations for next year. So this is our budget, expense budget for next year. The general fund is almost 8.9 million, debt service is 1.4, building repair fund 2.3, and I left 2 million in the capital improvement fund because the way things are going, I have no idea what's happening with that. So.
Anybody have any other questions for her? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay. Then if no further discussion, then we'll have a motion.
So moved. I'll second Paul's motion.
And since we have no more discussion, roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond?
Yeah.
Jake?
Yes.
Somewhat related to this, I do have one quick question, Lisa. Your 5-year projection, and at the end of the 5-year, we start dipping down into our rollover fund.
Mm-hmm.
But if I read that right, you assumed for like the last, 4 or 5 years that we had no increases in revenue from any source.
Right.
Did I read that right? Okay,
Yes.
so your projection is very, very conservative is the way I'm reading it.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, 'cause
So
what's going on,
I'm happy with that
we
then.
kind of based it on what happened before when the economy tanked,
Mhm.
and it was pretty stagnant for 3 to 5 years. Outlooks are all over the place, but the ones I've read recently is that we should be able to recover by second quarter next year. So yes, this is very conservative.
Okay. All right, then that looks good because when you plan it out like that, I want to be very conservative and be surprised with extra money. So that's
Yes.
good. I like that. Thank you.
Okay.
We're conservative. Yes, that's us. Okay. Were there any other committee reports? Okay. Unfinished business.
I don't have anything on the docket.
The only thing I was thinking of, I don't know if it's unfinished. It's certainly not new. I like that we sent out the lines and links, but it was lines and links light. Is there a reason why we can't send the lines and links like I got in the mailbox? I
You
got
mean
a,
you don't have 60 or 24 pages, you have just like,
well, I have 24 pages of programming. I mean, it was pictures and it was talking about the library and that kind of thing. The light was one page and it had a couple ads. It didn't really talk about the library. I would like to see what was lines and links more page in the light. I was like, why are we doing a light? Why don't we just do the lines and links?
I'm confused. I'm not sure what you got.
I got it in the mail. Unfortunately, it's downstairs and I'm upstairs, but it was lines and links, and it has the Bainbridge Library front. It talks about the construction. There are pictures inside about the construction.
Does it look like that image that Chris Reed is holding up?
Oh, Chris, I don't have a picture of Chris at the moment.
Okay.
It was maybe 6 pages.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
The last two, because we don't have it filled with all the pages of programming, Patrick, Alton, and Becky have just filled it with some sort of stories of what's going on.
It had, about the thing, and then the light came on my email, and the light was basically 2 ads and something. I mean, I liked the paper versus the email, and I wondered why I couldn't do the paper versus the email. I thought it had more info, it had more connection. The light was very light.
The email is very light, is what you're saying.
Yeah, very light.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked what came in the mail. Now I know we send it everywhere. I don't know if you've got problems doing it as an email, but I would like to see more content in the what you send as email.
Okay, we can definitely talk about that.
Yeah.
Patrick Culleton has his hand up, it looks like. You're able to talk at will, Patrick.
I'm just curious if you're referring to the one that came last week?
Yes.
Or the one last week was specifically only targeted at about the pages and services that are coming up.
Yes. Okay.
And then the one that came out the Thursday previous, and the one that's coming out this Thursday will have more content. But that one last week was really just a focus on the fact of saying, hey, we're going to allow people to come in to the building except for computer appointments. We call that one a targeted message, where it's just kind of focused on one thing and less general library news, which are on a more regular schedule.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get that. All I saw was light on top, and then it was followed by the other one, the paper one, and I thought,
right.
Oh, the paper one is really good. Why aren't we promoting this? And I get where you're going.
Oh, thank you.
You answered my question. Okay. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. New business. I need approval of the December discard list. Anybody? I need a
I move that we accept the discard list.
Thank you. Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Karen,
Yes.
Josh, Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake,
Yes.
Okay. Board development.
So the last time we had a discussion about this, but this will be the memorializing of the reality of the scenario. So if Mr. Rondelli does not wish to be on or to continue another term, then it should be, if I've got it right, Josh would be in the president slot, Jake would take up the vice president slot, and Kate would be the secretary. Is that accurate?
Sounds about like what has to happen, yeah.
Yep. And
Yep.
so that's what it looks like would be the transition to the next step for 2021.
Nominations, and if there are no further nominations, then nominations are closed.
What do you want, a motion?
Do we need anything? It's just a
I'll
list.
I'll move the 3 people.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Was that Rendelli second?
Yes.
Okay.
Any just
We'll be delighted.
Gosh. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. We're on to Becky.
I'm sorry. No, it was my turn already. Okay. Hello, everybody. Let's see. The latest foundation news is our foundation and partners. They love to rename ourselves. So it's now our organization is called the Foundation and Partners. And the individuals that are responsible for kind of creating the partners part of the group, they want to be called the Creation Committee. So the Creation Committee consists of 3 foundation board members, 3 community members that are all former friends of the library leaders that have been coming together and meeting regularly about twice a month. So we met in November and in December so far, and the topic of those meetings was the leadership structure for the partner part of the foundation. And what that would consist of, what that would look like, would be there would be a chair, a vice chair, a secretary, and then heads of the following teams. The teams would be a membership team, a publicity team, volunteer team, a book sale team, and an outreach and event team. So that's what we're seeing as the responsibilities for these for this group. Each of these officers would serve for 3 years, and then they would choose one from the group to be the liaison to the foundation board with voting rights on the foundation board. So that is the direction of the structure that we are moving towards, that we will alter in our bylaws, hopefully next month. Our next meeting is this Thursday, and we're going to be looking at the specific responsibilities of these teams, and we are also finalizing our membership form and creating an online sign up for the members, the partners membership, so they can sign up on our webpage and attach that to a PayPal to pay for their membership, as well as doing a paper form as we have traditionally done. Also joining us on Thursday is we've attracted the attention of a local nonprofit consultant, and she wants to sit in on our meeting on Thursday. Jessica Leary Allen, she's the former executive director at Fairmont, and she also was the development director for the City Club of Cleveland. And she's kind of taken a special interest in our group as a Geauga County resident, and she wants to advise us where she can. So she's going to be joining us this week, so hopefully she'll be able to bring some good ideas and insight to the table. The second thing I wanted to report is that in our meeting last week, we approved over $20,000 in GCPL project funding. This includes a sponsorship of summer reading, winter reading. We're continuing Baby's First Book and the 100 Book Challenge. And we also appropriated some money for staff appreciation and holiday gifts and celebrations for 2021. So hopefully we'll be able to spend all the $20,000 in events in 2021. Another important thing is that we are researching vendors for third-party online book sales for our discards and donations that are piling up at our branches. We're going to make that decision with the library this week. We're looking at Thrift Books and Better World Books to see what vendor is going to give us the best rate and be more efficient to work with for our needs. And also, we welcomed a new board member this month. Marcia Owen joined us as our newest foundation board member. Marcia was formerly with the Geauga Growth Partnership. And so she's really connected with local businesses in Geauga County, and she has extensive experience in marketing, event planning, and fundraising. She'll be a huge asset to our board, and she's also active in Burton Middlefield Rotary, Geauga County Historical Society, the Genealogical Society, the Kiwanis, and Leadership Geauga. So she's very community oriented, and she is a huge library supporter, and she's very excited to be on board and take us into the new year. And that's all I have.
How about the foundation and the library together?
Oh, did you want me to talk about that? I know you and Kathy were talking, but I can mention it.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to, the board members, I don't know that they know.
Okay, so we are revising our bylaws, and given that we have a vacancy, usually we have a member of the library board, a trustee, serve as a liaison on the foundation board. So Kathy and Karen were saying, well, now that, you know, this might be a good time to really reevaluate if this is really needed. I mean, I know everybody is like chomping at the bit to do foundation work with us here on the board. So I think what we need to discuss is if it's really necessary to have this a board liaison on our board, seeing as I attend your meetings and fill you in regularly on foundation business, and so does Ed. Ed is also attending both of these meetings, so that is up for discussion, and that's really where we're at right now.
Okay.
But our foundation board did discuss it at our meeting last week, and they said we're fine with not having a library board liaison on our board if you guys are fine with it too. So.
Okay, that's a discussion for the board. My other question for you is what are you doing about the people who take life memberships?
I'm sorry, you cut out,
We
Karen?
couldn't hear you there.
Life memberships in like the foundation?
Right.
Yeah.
So life memberships, if you are a life member of one of the former Friends groups, then we're honoring that as to the new group. And also, I know we've been working with Bainbridge Friends of the Library, and everybody that renewed after September in Q4, they honored for the following year. So anybody that renewed with those Friends group, any friend that renewed for 2021 in any Friends group, we will honor in the new organization.
And you're everybody that was a life member or this 2020. Okay, good. As long as you let them know in the communication.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I should also mention that they decided that the annual membership fee will be $5 a year to be a member, or you can get 3 years for 12.
Okay.
So we're trying to keep it. That was the average of the annual memberships. So we're going to just keep that at $5 or $3 for 12. So we don't have to send out as many renewals every year. We hope people will take advantage of the deal.
Okay.
So if you would like to have that discussion, I could, when we do the January meeting, we reauthorize the bylaws. And if you want me to change that for January, I can do that. So I don't know if you want to talk about it or hash it out now, or if you want to wait till January, it's entirely up to you.
What would you like to do? Board?
Let's discuss it.
All righty. Let's discuss it. What do you got? Go ahead, Paul.
Tell us what the issue is.
If my understanding is that they feel that Becky is liaisoning between the board and foundation. Ed is also doing both, and that they no longer need a member from the board going to the foundation meeting.
Oh, I understood that.
Okay, that's it.
All right.
That's the whole.
Sounds good to me.
Do you feel that the board needs to be a presence there or not?
If we have somebody who's willing to be on there, yeah. But if nobody's willing to go to the meeting, no.
That's the crux right there. Is getting the volunteer has been challenging, which precipitated the investigation on the part of I think, Kathy and team to say, do we need this? Could we operate without that? I don't know if Larry Corbis is still on, but he weighed in, but then we talked it through as well. Since Larry was there at the forming of the foundation 30 years ago, we actually did have a conversation about this.
So I'm like a human archive here, huh?
Yes.
No, I just remember when we formed the foundation, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had no more than 3 board members on the foundation because you couldn't do that and keep it as a separate entity.
Right.
And so I think at that time, I think we had 3 board members, and then if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Helen Wilson was a 4th member, and then 3 members from the community. But that was back then.
Right. Then when Helen retired, I don't know who took it. Lisa? I don't know who took it. I don't know who took over.
I don't know. I don't know if Cheryl went. I don't remember.
I think Cheryl said she didn't want to go, as I recall.
I don't remember that.
I think it's adjusted many times, and then this was just the latest adjustment, just to say I mean, at the beginning when I first started and it was imploding or disintegrating, that was very worrisome and we needed bodies. But at this point, I feel like they've got their sea legs. They're pretty strong. And as long as Becky's reporting, I mean, I agreed with their assessment, but it's really on you all.
Right. Do you feel we'll be too far removed if we don't have someone going to the meeting? I don't know how it would be perceived since we've always been there. I'm just putting it out as a devil's advocate. I don't know. I have no idea what people think. Do you think we'll be?
We could always try it out this way, and if it doesn't work out, we can switch back.
Sure.
Those were my exact words. Was it?
I like the idea of having a more of a separation firewall, however you want to characterize it, between the library board and the foundation. I mean, we're talking about charity monies being involved, so you always want to not have a you don't want it to look like we're controlling our own charity.
True.
We're not the Trump family, we're the library board. So having that separation, I think, is a good thing. And to me, the reason why we were always involved before is because we just couldn't find the warm bodies to be on there. But if we've got the warm bodies now, I think this is good. I think this is a good thing.
Okay.
Try it out, right?
Okay.
Then I will prepare the changes for the January meeting, the language in the bylaws to reflect this.
Did you have anything? Jake? Did I lose you? Jake?
Ray appears locked up to me.
He locked up. Okay. Paul, anything else?
No.
Oh, I think Jake was talking.
Oh, sorry.
Or was he? I don't know.
Oh, I said no. That all makes sense to me.
Oh, okay.
I think
I said it looked like Ray was locked up, I thought.
Yeah, he got
Right.
frozen.
No, I'm sitting here listening.
Okay, there he is.
Froze there for a while, and now you're just a square. That's okay. Anything you want to say?
No, I was board liaison for a long time. As long as there's someone at the meeting reporting on what's going on, i.e. what Becky is doing, I'm with Josh. The more separation, the better.
I think so. Okay, good.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. All right, then go ahead and do that, Ed.
I'll get it for next month.
Okay. Super. I think that's everything I've got. Comments from the public. Oh, I'm sorry, Becky. You done?
Yep, I'm done.
Oh, I just rolled right over you.
That's okay. I was finished. Thank you, Karen.
Whoops. Okay, comments from the public?
Yes. This is Trudy Gordon speaking. Thank you. I'm with Geauga West, and I'd like to ask Becky how the 3 individuals were chosen to work with the foundation on this new group that you're hoping to form.
Trudy, they volunteered.
They volunteered.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I have volunteered and I've asked for meetings and I've asked for additional information and I was never contacted, as is the case with a number of other individuals who also volunteered to be part of this group and to really have it be all inclusive. Can you tell me which branches these individuals are from?
Trudy, they're from Geauga County.
I understand that.
I'm reluctant to release the names, honestly.
No, I'm not asking you to release the names. I'm asking you to add to indicate which library branch they were from.
Which library? We have a member that was from the former Thompson group, the former Bainbridge group, and the former Geauga West Friends of the Library.
That's interesting because you have not included anybody from any of the groups that have questioned your approach.
The invitation has been out there. It just really hasn't been a response. The invitation.
No, the invitation may have been out there, but it was never received by you. There are many of us who would have loved to be part of this group and would have been very anxious to be part of this process and were never contacted.
Okay, it is my understanding that our board president was present at least 2 of your meetings and have also talked to many of your officers on one-on-one basis. So we can go from there, Trudy.
Well, we could, I mean, I'm not at any of the meetings, but I don't see why you couldn't participate. I mean, if you were interested.
Kathy Leary very clearly knows that I asked for a meeting and wanted to participate. Are you talking about Kathy being at our meetings?
Yes.
Kathy is no longer part of our group and she wasn't an active part of our group when these decisions were made. You cannot consider her as a member of the Friends group at this point.
Okay, well, she was your vice president up until last month. So Trudy, you know what, if you are interested, we are trying to keep the group small until we get everything organized, and then we will be opening it up to more volunteer opportunities and those committees that I was discussing. So if there's a certain committee that you're interested in, you could let me know, okay?
I also would like to know why the Life members have not been notified that their Life membership will be accepted and applauded in the new organization.
Well, when I have that information that I can contact them with, and I will do that.
You had mentioned at the November meeting that the new membership forms would go out in 2 weeks.
I did not. I said 4 to 6 weeks.
I think you had said 2 to 4 weeks.
I think you could check the minutes. It was 4 to 6 weeks.
I will be glad to check the minutes. I'd also like to know if the December 31st date is still in place for Friends groups to either accept or decline your invitation.
Invitation to
join this new partnership?
Well, the December 31st date was for you to decide what you wanted to do with your money. If you wanted to donate it to the fiscal office as a designated gift to a certain branch, we were asking that you do that by December 31st. That's what that date is.
Right. I had emailed you and asked you for specifics as to how to do that and how we can get guarantees about how that money was to be spent. And again, as has been in the past, I received no phone calls, no emails, and there was absolutely no contact.
Well, this was discussed at your meetings.
No.
Excuse me. Can I interrupt here, board member?
Yes.
The purpose of this portion of the meeting is to get comments from the public with respect to the business of the board. This conversation has devolved into
Foundation.
A conversation concerning the foundation business, and there are other public members who may want to comment, and there are board members who have other obligations. So I would ask that we move on. That if there are more questions concerning the foundation and its business, that those be addressed offline and not in the context of this meeting, and that we move on in comments. And if necessary, I'll make a motion to that.
Mr. Undeli, I appreciate what you're saying, and I would just like to say that I have made multiple efforts to try to discuss these things in private, and I was never contacted. There was never any response.
Okay. Becky will address these problems with you. She will call you. Does she have your phone number?
Yes, she does. I considered Becky and Kathy good friends of mine.
Okay.
And I'm disheartened that it has gotten to this point. And I speak for a lot of people.
And I do. I understand, because things do go awry when you're changing horses in midstream, and it sometimes does get lost. But as we said, this is the library's board meeting, not the foundation board meeting. So you need to discuss this with Becky on the phone or in an email, however you prefer. But I would suggest that you get. Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, not hearing anybody else. I need a motion to adjourn.
Wait, we have executive.
Oh, I don't have a motion to adjourn. I'm so sorry. It's not in my new thing. I need a.
I move we go into executive session.
That's what I need.
And the purpose is to consider the compensation of public employees.
Yes,
Employees, excuse me.
totally.
And I will second that motion.
Okay.
Second, okay.
Have Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Larry,
Larry, you did.
Yes.
Thank you.
Kate,
Yep.
Raymond,
Yes.
Jake.
All right.
Yes.
People, you can stay put at this meeting, but the board is moving to executive session. So everybody find your executive session.
They're getting good at that.
Howdy, folks. We're all back.
5:30 p.m. ending executive session.
Yep.
5:30 p.m.
And as usual, we've solved all the world's problems while in the executive session. It's all good now.
We're good.
Yeah, COVID's done.
Yeah, we fixed it all. We got bored and fixed everything.
Oh, good. I need a motion. Raymond?
Raymond, you're on
muted.
mute.
You're mute.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
Oh,
There you go.
sorry about that.
It happens.
On behalf of the Personnel Committee, I'm making the following recommendations. One, that both Ed Warso and Lisa Havlin will receive the same annual raise that all their employees were to receive based on board action at last month's meeting. And that merit payments will be made in accordance with a proposal that the Personnel Committee will forward to everybody that's currently on this call. It was probably should have been in the board packet, but it wasn't. I apologize for that. And that the Personnel Committee will also follow up with Ed and Lisa with respect to having discussions and feedback with them on their evaluations, their self-evaluations that they submitted last week.
Okay. So that is motion by Rondelli
I'll second.
and
Okay.
Patron. Okay.
Discussion? Not roll call.
Do you want, I can,
Do it.
if you've got the list, sure.
Yep. Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes. Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate,
Yep.
Raymond.
Yes.
Okay.
Is Jake here?
Jake?
Oh, Jake, did I miss Jake?
Jake.
Sorry, Jake.
I got him up. I can see his.
I see him, but he's muted.
Jake.
There he is.
There you go.
He's muted and
Still muted.
now he's
Now
open.
he's
There you
unmuted.
are.
Jake.
Jake, put your picture up and put thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Muted again. Muted again. Still, there we
I
go.
see.
Good
I see
picture.
darkness.
Dark.
I see something. I see a thumb, I think.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, he's driving. Oh,
Wow.
dear.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We can say yes.
Careful. Please focus on driving, not this.
I'm pretty sure that was.
Yes.
Right, Jake?
There we got it.
Okay,
Yes.
good, good.
Okay.
Thanks, Jake.
I'm sorry. I was unmuted on the phone. I was muted in my car, which I didn't realize. I had to switch to the car between those last two sessions.
Thank you, Jake. All righty. Anything else? If not, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
And Newman. Got it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Yes.
So I'm glad to hear that Kate's feeling better, and I hope everybody has a safe and healthy holiday Christmas season.
Same to everybody else.
2000 I'm waiting for 2020, the Groundhog COVID series to get
If
out
you
of
have
this place.
time, go to Bainbridge and take a look at it. They'll walk you through and you'll
Yeah.
get a pre tour before the proper tours. If you
I
have a
drove
minute.
by there last night late. It's a pretty
Oh.
impressive thing in the dark, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They've got the lights on the lantern and all the wood up, so it just looks
Oh.
outstanding.
Yeah, no, I pulled in and looked around at it.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I'm
gorgeous.
thinking about the wife and I might go by there tomorrow. So that'll be
Right.
great.
Yeah, just tell Ed Ellsworth and he'll give you a tour. And if
Yep.
you need one of us, Patrick or me or anybody, will go walk through there with you. But Ed'll give you a tour easily. So
Yeah, my wife actually says, "Can you give me a tour in here?" I'm like, "I'm going to be board president. Technically, my signature has to be on their paycheck, so
that's
I
right.
can probably get you in." You know?
That's right.
Yes,
All right, folks. I think I have Indian dinner downstairs. So if you don't
All right.
need me anymore,
Good night.
Happy
Good night.
holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays,
holidays,
everybody.
everybody. Be safe and healthy, guys. Take care.
see ya.
Bye.